was a 17-minute video and the whole damn thing was blurry. Oh my god. Hey y'all, what is good? Welcome to Mo Life. If you are new, my name is Morgan. I make videos on life, love, health, relationships, all that good stuff. If you are returning, welcome back. I want to address this on my head first. My scalp was a little dry, so I put some coconut oil, some tea tree oil, and I'm letting that whole marinate. So she just chilling up here. It's also Halloween, so I could just say I'm a pirate too. We'll go with either of those. Today, we are hitting a topic that might be hard for some people to hear, but I would consider it necessary for your growth, so stay tuned. As you can tell by the title of this video, this is for people who have always considered themselves to be super nice, maybe a pushover, maybe you call yourself big-hearted, maybe you call yourself super forgiving, or anything like that. This is for you. So recently, I was watching a Tony Gaskins YouTube video. I don't know if y'all are familiar with him, but he's basically a relationship coach guru, and I really like watching relationship videos from the men's point of view because it always keeps me in check and I literally always learn something. Like, it's very, very enlightening. I definitely recommend. But anyways, the video that I was watching was basically like the one thing men need from women. So I was like, bet, let me learn about this. And the premise of the whole video was basically saying that men need a woman who will hold them accountable. They will need a woman who will call them out on their shit, who will hold them to a high standard, who will not let them walk all over them, who will not make excuses for his poor behavior, stuff like that. A woman with boundaries, basically. Now, if you're someone who's always super nice and doesn't try to step on toes, doesn't like to speak up because maybe you bringing up your feelings might make them feel bad, or it might start an argument, or it might make the other person upset at you or upset with themselves, that probably means that you're not good at creating healthy boundaries for yourself. You're probably someone who makes excuses for shitty behavior. You're probably someone who says yes a lot even though you really shouldn't be. You're probably someone who allows people to like talk down to you or at you because you don't like causing a problem or checking that person. Maybe it gives you anxiety. You're probably someone who lets your significant other, do things in a relationship that you're not okay with because you have a hard time creating those boundaries and sticking to them. You probably find ways to make yourself the problem and blame yourself but give everyone else grace when it comes to things. If this sounds like you, I'm here to tell you that you need to stop blaming those behaviors on you just having a big heart and seeing the best in people and being super forgiving. Yes, those qualities are really important and they are good to have, but they are hurting you more than they are helping you. And sometimes it really gets to the point where it's a basic lack of self-respect, because as human beings, we know how we deserve to be treated, and by allowing certain people to say things to us, do things to us, etc., kind of shows our lack of our self-esteem and our lack of self-worth and respect. Does this make sense? You're probably allowing people to treat you any type of way without repercussions because you're afraid of the consequence that might come with it. You're afraid to lose that friendship.
If I say something to her about what she said to me at dinner the other night and how I was offended, she might get mad at me and leave me and never talk to me again, and now I'll be lonely.
Lose them as a partner.
If I tell them how I really feel or I speak up about myself, they might get annoyed and just leave me, and now I'll be lonely.
Again, it's coming back to this afraid of losing people or afraid of making them upset. Your feelings matter too. And you have to start setting up these boundaries with people so they know how to treat you. If you're anything like me, you don't like starting conflict, you don't like starting the pot, you like to just be low-key in the background, doing your shit, doing the right thing, and moving on with your life, right? You're allowed to check people when necessary. You're allowed to say no. You're allowed to let somebody know how you feel because your feelings matter too. And by you just sweeping all that stuff under the rug, builds up inside you, which creates resentment and creates disease. None of that's good. You need to release that. One thing that I learned recently in my life is that everyone is living in their own reality, literally. So the way humans perceive the world is dependent on their experiences, their personality, their biology, all that nature versus nurture goodness. Every single person is perceiving this one earth, this one life, in 100 million different, billions of different ways. For example, let's say you and 5 of your closest friends and family all listen to one, like watch one TV show or listen to one thing. You all could remember different parts of that scene. You all could be offended by different things or not offended by certain things. One thing might be funny to you, but it's not funny to somebody else. The same exact thing that you all are watching, you all 5 perceive it differently. That's the same thing with life. And it's the same thing in our relationships. Sometimes people do things or treat us in certain ways that are totally normal to them, right? They might be like joking around with you, like making fun of you, because to them it's just all jokes. It's like part of like flirting or banter. But to you, you're like,
Bro, that hurt my feelings. That was mean.
like there's a bunch of different scenarios where like sometimes people are acting out of a place where they don't see a problem with it. And until you tell them, hey, I don't like when you do this, they might not never
They might not never know.
they probably won't change their behavior because they're not seeing a problem with it. And if you're not creating that boundary for yourself, they're going to keep treating you like that. Everyone's behaviors and everyone's perspectives are not common. There is no common sense. There is no, I don't want to say there is a normal, because there is like a acceptable range of behaviors to any given situation, but there really is no like common sense because everyone comes from such different places. There's an infinite number of ways that this world is being viewed. Back to more of like a relationship perspective, with creating boundaries, Tony was talking about how men will basically push a woman to their breaking point just to see how much he can get away with her. Why do they do this? I don't know. I think it's ugly as fuck. If you're a man, please don't do that. But you not setting boundaries with them will basically allow them to keep treating you like trash because they know that they can get away with it, and that at the end of the day, you still gonna be at the crib. It doesn't matter what I do. She gonna be at home when I get home. That type of mentality is literally so ugly, and you are more than that. You are more than his experiment, testing how much he can get away with. Oh, let me try this on her tonight. Let me see how she handles this. Let me see if I can get away with this. Like it keeps inching and inching more and more until like as a woman you just like fucking snap. This won't happen if you set boundaries to prevent the worst behaviors, right? So in his video he was talking about aggressive words turn into aggressive actions. If you cut him off and be like, I do not like the way you're talking to me, like if his tone gets too rough, or if like his words get disrespectful, you will not talk to me like that. I don't like when you say that to me. And you cut that off, you're cutting off the rest of the behaviors because he knows that he can't get away with that. He knows that you will leave or you will hold him accountable. And all it's going to do is create a more healthy relationship for you because he knows what he can not get away with. Again, I don't think men should be testing women like this, but taking the advice from a male who's been through it, I'm going to trust him. So women, make sure you're doing this and checking everybody. So if you find yourself, calling yourself big-hearted, super forgiving, if you have a hard time creating boundaries, this is for you. I really challenge you to take small steps and really find ways to work on it, whether it's daily or weekly. I know that I had problems with it in my relationships. I have problems with it at work. I'm literally a supervisor at my job, and I still find myself struggling to confront my employees about, their behavior. It does take practice, but over time it does get easier. And I want to tell you that once you start doing it, you feel so much lighter. Like you feel like your true self has like come out, and you don't have to hide all of these like, oh, I really, really feel like this, but I'm so afraid of telling him. That gets released. Like you physically will feel lighter, I promise you. And also my last tip about this is that the way someone replies or responds to you creating a boundary with them tells them all you need to know about them. If they are respectful, that is good. If they try to blame you or flip something on you, that is bad. If they say, oh my God, thank you for letting me know, I had no idea, that is good. if they get mad at you for bringing it up or try to like minimize you and your feelings, that's bad. You get the idea. So basically, I just wanted to make this video because I know I'm not the only person who's called themselves so big-hearted and forgiving, and we often get shit on a lot, and we try to say, oh, I just get taken advantage of. But in reality, we need to learn how to create boundaries for ourselves so we're not letting people treat us
Any type of way.
dog us and all this stuff. We need to stand up for ourselves. So keep that big heart of yours, but learn how to set up some boundaries to protect it because you owe that to yourself. That is all. I hope y'all enjoyed this content. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Send this to anyone you think needs to hear this or could work on it. They're not alone. A lot of us are going through this, so we're all in this together. And with that, I will catch y'all next time.